What's going on, y'all? So, Hit the Floor, season 3, episode 3, Fake Out, I believe. So, y'all know Yelena and Terrence trying to bat a team, right? So, they're engaged now, and they want to drop the bomb, sort of say on everyone, but kind of play a game. It's like a cat and mouse game. I'm not going to reveal my hand just yet, but I'm going to reveal it soon. But in the process, I'm going to fuck with your mind just a little bit. So they want to throw this underhanded, I guess, engagement party at the Devil's Playground, the place, the restaurant that they always at after the games, whatever. Okay, that's fine. And it's going to be a masquerade theme, all right? So back at the Devil's Arena, they're about to do basketball practice. Zero comes up and was like, "What's up, everybody? Come on, we finna run these drills and all this stuff." And then everybody moves away like, Derek is here. He was like, so you back? He was like, "I never left," and I was like, "Oh, let me just tell y'all this. I can understand why Asha fell for Derek because." Let me tell you, y'all already know. If you don't know, Ashley has a thing for voices. Like, you could be ugly as shit, but if that voice is there, bitch, listen. So shit can probably pop off. I'm just saying, you sounds is everything, okay? That's a fucking turn on, all right? And Derek, that motherfucker has a come fuck me, I'm finna fuck the shit out of you type of voice, tone, and everything all the time. He was on that thing, and I was like, Zero probably got a little turned on too. He know he did. He know he did, bitch. Because he was like, "You know what? I'm the captain." He was like, "Wait a minute, I'm the captain." He was like, "It's a funny thing about, contracts and stuff." And I said, "Oops, oops." Zero thought he had a one up. Y'all know Zero and Derek, they don't get along. Zero whole plan was to come up in this devil's thing and to take over. He wanted to be the face. He wanted to be the captain. He wanted it to be about Zero. All right. And it's not going according to plan. Okay. You wanted your little boy toy to stay your boy toy, but the little boy toy didn't call feelings. Okay. You wanted him to be your agent. He was like, "Bitch, now, okay, you playing me left and I'm finna play you dust, bitch, all right? We not finna do this. Oh, we not finna do this, okay? I'm finna move on." And Zero being ever much the jealous little bitch that he is, in a relationship, he jealous. And he gonna act out as such, cock blocking and all that stuff. But speaking of cock blocking, Yelena and Derek trying to, not Derek, but Terrence trying to figure out the stuff for the party and all this stuff. Here comes Zero coming up at the Devil's Playground like, "So listen, I know exactly what the hell it is that y'all trying to do." And it was like, "What you talking about?" "Oh, you finna do this little engagement party that I'm not invited to. So, what if I just announced to everybody that, hey, you're trying to battle devils?" It was like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." And it was like, "No, you not coming and you better not say nothing." It was like, "Let me tell you something. I got the upper hand in this right here, okay? If you don't want your little plan to get out, let's say if you bat this devils, organization, if you do so, I want you to trade Derek." And I said, "Bitch, that's a good move." Zero and Yelena, bitch, whichever one you want to call a bitch. I can see why they was attracted to each other and they hooked up at first because they both fucking conniving and evil ass people. But they probably would have been trying to connive and, outsmart each other in a relationship so it wouldn't last, okay? It wouldn't last. They was good as fuck buddies. That's all it was. All right. Terrence know that they was fucking with each other. He don't like him for that reason. If anything else, for that reason too. Also, besides the fact that he taking his spot and stuff. But hey, that Yelena was like, "Bitch, no. No, we're not finna do that, and you not gonna open up your goddamn mouth. All right." He was like, "Bitch, you don't have the upper hand. I do, and I see you at the party." I said, "Oops." So we get this little scene with Raquel. Raquel and Cal go to the doctor, the cardiologist. Basically, she has like the thickening of the heart, what they call enlarged heart. I can't remember exactly what he said it's called, but basically she needs to slow down and she needs to de-stress her life and she needs to change her eating pattern and all that stuff and take medication. And she feels as if, because she just got this spot as being a devil's girl. And this is what she wanted. She had hopes of doing all this stuff again. And now, it's taken away from her. And it's just like, I can't do anything because I got this heart condition. And almost like a death sentence, but it's not, because they caught it early. And she was at the house and, just lounging around and all this stuff. And Cal was like, bitch, get yourself ready. We finna go to the party and all this stuff. What you doing? And she was like, girl, I ain't finna go nowhere and all this stuff. My life is fucking over. I'm doing this and I can't do anything. So if I want to come over here and I want to lounge on, let me lounge. And she was like, bitch, I'm not finna throw you no pity party. I'm not finna participate in one that you're throwing yourself, okay? Because you're not dying. You're not dead. You don't have to stop living, and I'm not gonna be around for this. She was like, bitch, you just made me a sandwich. I was like, oops. Cal said, you know what, fuck you, bitch, I'm gone. And sometimes when people get diagnosed with stuff, it takes a toll on them, and you have to let them feel that shock and all that for a few, and then they'll eventually get out of it and realize that, hey, I can't just sit around and just let this take over my life. I got to keep living life because I'm not dead yet. All right, I'm not to the point that I can't get up and wipe my own ass yet. I can still go live life. That's what Cal was basically trying to tell her ass. Get your ass up, bitch. You ain't dead. You ain't about to die. You can't. You just got to slow down just a little bit, change up a little bit, and you can still be you. All right, just switch it up just a little bit, but still put a little jazz on it. So this shit with Derek, well, German and Lionel, no, German and Asha was talking. And right in the midst of them talking, they talking about trying to get bedrooms and apartments and, figure that stuff out when they go to Boston because they want her to be a choreographer and stuff like that. And right in the midst of this, Asha gets a phone call, well, a text from Lionel. Come down to the arena now. And I said, oops. Asha was like, who the fuck? Grandma said, what the fuck she want? I said, she gonna talk to you like that and you gonna let her? And she was like, girl, yeah, I'm gonna see what she want. German was like, bitch, okay, I guess. Go see what the bitch want and we'll be fine. Whatever. And German was just sitting there like, some fuck shit is going on. German is ready to fucking go. All right. This man conscience is eating him up like it ain't nothing. He killed that woman. He probably didn't try to. I don't know if he really intentionally tried to kill her, but bitch, she done flew over the banister dead. Okay, neck broken, everything. All right, she was dead, dog dong. Okay, that's what she was. All right, and he trying to run. Okay, he is trying to run. And he was like, damn, if I get to Boston, that's on the East Coast. We all the way over here on the West Coast. That's the East Coast. They can't touch me. I'm safe. I'm this. Ain't nobody ever going to figure it out. I ain't going to have these nightmares. Girl, you can't run them nightmares. You cannot escape them. That's going to still be with you regardless, all right? So after that, Asha goes over there to the arena. Lionel was like, okay, hey, you here, you're back on the Devil's team. She was like, bitch, what? Because Asha came up in there with attitude. I don't know who you think you are calling me all this stuff and whatever. She was like, you're back on the Devil's girl. Wait a minute, what? Come again? I mean, I don't want you here, but hey, you back, okay? And let's just say it's part of Derek's contract. He the one that you need to go thank him, all right? Because he the one that wanted you on his team. It's part of him to, in his contract or whatever. That's the only stipulation that he really wanted in order to sign this contract and be with us and all this stuff. And she was like, oh, Derek. But and right when she was about to get you could tell Asha was trying to look shocked like, Derek? And I was like, girl, inside she was like, Derek. And I was like, I already see where this shit is going. And Alina was like, well, if I was you, snap up out that haze and go make sure your man is okay with this shit. Because that's the one that's going to need to look out for. So she got German's job back, comes back to the house to tell him what's going on, and he lifting them weights, right? And I was like, oh, that muscle was bulging out, right? And I said, don't throw that shit at her. Don't throw that shit at her, because I would have kind of looked like I was going to throw it at her, because she came in like everything was all to the good, like he was supposed to be okay. He was like, what Lionel want? Nothing. Like, she just gave me my job back and it's all to the good. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. And then he was like, wait a minute, what? She was like, don't trip. I got your job back too. And I told her what Boston was giving me. So she let me do the choreography and all that stuff. I was like, this ain't gonna work with Yelena. I'm watching this show just to see how they gonna butt heads, okay? Yelena is not gonna be here for this. Yelena has not shared choreography, all that stuff. She has not shared that position. Now she has to. And I'm just sitting here like, Lord, this ain't gonna end well. This is not gonna end well. And Jamie was like, ain't this about a bitch? We was just about to go. And she told him that it was Derek that got her so casually. That it was Derek that, got her job back. Jerry looking like, do you understand what's going on? He said, okay, I'm going to go back to this job for you. But what I won't do is sit around and watch you fall in love with this motherfucker again. No, it won't happen. I said, thank you, Jeremy. Put your motherfucking foot down, bitch. Jeremy kind of getting scary to me, okay? Because when I first seen him on like the first season and even the second season, because you let this man come in and scoop and take your girl, and stuff like that, he just seems so little weak and naive and all that stuff. He didn't kill somebody, and now I'm sitting here looking at him like, you might just push my ass over. Let me step back just a little bit. That little light skin with them black lips just he ain't one to be fucked with. Like, he is thinking of some shit, okay? He plotting and planning and scheming too. I can just see them wheels turning. Like, he gonna fuck Derek up. He gonna at least attempt to fuck his ass up. So all of a sudden, Lionel at the Devil's Arena had came across Yelena, and she was like, oh, by the way, Asha's back. Yelena turned around and said, bitch, what? She was like, yeah, Asha's back, and guess what? She's sharing the spot for choreography. She's a choreographer, too. She's going to help. And then she was like, that is not possible. We had a deal. This is not a part of the plan. And then Lionel said, bitch, Oscar Kincaid is in jail. All right? Shit happens, and this is what we had to do to get Derek to come back. I don't give a fuck about Asha. I don't want the bitch here, but this is what I had to do, and this trumps your shit, all right? And Yelena was just looking like, I can't stand this bitch. People always coming up here fucking my shit up. That's what she was looking like. And I was like, she was like, bitch, this is business, okay? Shit change in business all the time. And you need to learn how to work on business and not your emotions. I said, Lionel, you better fucking read, okay? Yelena was just sitting there steaming like, I can't stand this bitch. Ain't this some shit? Then they get ready to do the little, they was doing the choreography for the little masquerade ball and for the engagement party, and that's when Asha came. And then they was like, the girls, did you notice how the girls perked up? They were happy that Asha came back, and I said, oops, they like that bitch. And she was like, don't get too comfortable, bitch, but let me just tell you this. They done already learned the choreography, and I already did this, so you ain't gonna have to do nothing. She was like, that's fine, and I'm honored to be a part of your little thing. And then she was like, I said, oh, killing with kindness, Asha, killing with kindness. And she just went and stepped on the line. She ain't trying to take over nothing. I said, that's how you fucking do it. Kill the bitch with kindness, okay? For right now. Then, Asha goes up in there trying to, get it on with German in the room and shit. And I was like, that's nasty. I hope you locked the door. Okay? Because I know she just came up in there, but I hope she locked the door, But after that, what wound up happening? This whole shit with Kimberly Elise, with Sloan, the kidnapping stuff, it was like, it was just so odd. Like, I don't know, they could have did that a little bit better to me, because it just, I don't know, it didn't make no sense to me. I know Oscar got a thing out against Sloan because she's the one that put him in jail. She's the one that got him caught up, so he wants revenge. But to have her in this place, then to have this man talking about something, I'm not going to kill you, you're going to kill yourself, and then make her write this suicide note and sign it, and the only reason why she really did that was because he threatened to go after Asha. And then to be standing there and to place out the medicine that I guess she's supposed to take to kill herself. So you really gonna have this bitch kill herself too? Like, girl, what is going on? That I could have did without that. They could have did that a whole nother way, And she wound up, he comes over there and she stabs him with the pen, and she gets away. It was just sloppy. This whole scene, it was sloppy. And of course, he had her phone and stuff. Pete was trying to see what she was, and texting her, and he was responding on her behalf saying that she was at a spa. Pete, being Pete, he was like, I know my baby, okay? Baby don't be doing this stuff, and something just ain't right. Let me check up on the spa. Let me call the spa oh, she ain't been here. Okay. He was like, something ain't right. And that's when Sloan escaped, and I guess she called him, and he picked her up on the side of the freeway or some shit. I said, what the fuck is going on? This was crazy. I was just like, I don't like this. And he was like, Oscar's gonna pay. I said, oh, you mad? I said, you mad, Pete? He was like, you ain't going nowhere without somebody with you, and I'm gonna make sure this motherfucker go to jail forever. I was like, all right, you better go in for your woman, yes. But after that, he was like, I'm moving in and Asha moving her ass out. I said, I thought she was staying with German anyway, but I mean, she was frequenting her time between her mama and German house. But hey, he put up his foot down and said, bitch, I'm staying because ain't nobody finna come and touch you, boo. All right, we can have some more kids. That's how he was saying it. Like, fuck her. We can have some more kids if anything. But we still young. You know, you fertile, bitch. I still got it going on. Hell, ask Lionel. Listen, I can't. And then Lionel goes and see Oscar and basically tell Oscar, Oscar was like, how did you get Derek? She was like, I got all that covered. That developing plan that you was finna have, I sold that. I liquidated the assets to get him that money. And he was like, bitch, how fucking dare you? She was like, listen, you're in jail, boo. You're not gonna be able to do shit. So take this as what it is, whatever it is that you want to take it, you can take it as that, okay? And this will be the last time I come, okay? Fuck you, bitch. It's become. Bye. And I was like, y'all is doing the most on here. Then he had the nerve to want to see Jude. He had the nerve to want to see Jude. Jude come down there, he trying to be all nice, and he was like, funny how things change, son. And, see, Lionel, she's ahead of stuff and, made you the VP or whatever, the EVP and all that stuff. And, hey, I want you to keep an eye on stuff. He was like, see, what you're not gonna do is try to use me. The last time you told me something, you spoke to me, you said you didn't give a fuck about me, and because I was gay and shit, you said I wasn't even your son, bitch. Now you want me to be a little spy, bitch? Fuck you, daddy. Fuck you, daddy. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. And he left. So he was all up in his feelings and stuff, and feeling down. Cal and is trying to find this Franklin guy who's supposed to be producing her movie. This is when they at the masquerade ball, the engagement party already, and they having a good time. I will say this dance number was kind of weak, but okay, it was cool for what it was. Derek shows up. Everybody shows up. Asha, German. German was up there on the banister. I said, get his ass away from the banisters. All right, and Cal finally found who the Franklin guy was. It was her boo, the one that they be conning, and she was doing all these cons for to get his ass out of jail. I think that's what it was. And basically, it's another con. He got investors to donate or to give him $5 million, and talking about something. I'll give him 50% of the profit. She was like, well, 50% is between two people, and then he was like, it's going to be between no one when it's zero profit because we're going to make a movie that bombs and therefore I get to keep all the money. And then I can split it with your ass because at first Cal was like, no, my name is on this shit and I'm not finna do that. You ain't finna make no whack ass movie. She was like, I'll give you half. And she was like, fine, fuck it, we can do that. Then Raquel, she comes with her ass. Raquel came in and stole the scene, okay? Everybody got on black dress and muted colors and all this stuff. She rolled up in there with a red dress. I said, come on, sexy Latina. Yes, Boricua. You better do that shit, bitch. Come on. And, she was just living life. I said, you got your ass off the couch. Good for you, bitch. And at the end of the episode, because Lionel did a little press conference, I forgot, basically putting it out there that, hey, because of Oscar, it's some shit that's going on, and she finna separate herself from him. So, but she still finna be head of the organization. Zero still hell bent on trying to get Derek off the team. So he was about to blow their spot up, Terrence and Yelena. He was about to make a little talk, whatever, because at first Yelena said, bitch, no, we're not going to do it, okay? Because Terrence is like, we not finna trade Derek. That's my nigga. We ain't finna do that shit. And Zero got up there on that stage like he was finna give a toast to them and was about to spill their whole plan. And that's when they both came up there and was like, okay, fuck it, we gonna do it, all right? Now shut the fuck up. So at this point in time, he goes see Jude and he was like, what daddy want? Jude was like, that motherfucker tried to play me. and was like, I can't stand him. And they started talking, and they got into a moment. And next thing you know, they in a closet fucking. And then when they finished, he was like, first of all, Jew was like, I think I got your underwear on. I said, nasty? Pee stain and all? Streaks? Okay. And he was like, who want to leave first? He was like, I missed you. Zero said it first, and then Jew said it second. And then after that, Zero was like, who gonna leave first? He was like, you know what? Fuck this. You just not gonna change, okay? And you know what? And I blame myself. I don't even blame you because I allowed myself in this predicament. And I said, Jude, what's going on? He was like, don't ever talk to me again, okay? Don't come back me. Don't say nothing. We're done. I said, and then we see what happened on next week. Zero was like, I love you. And I was like, what? Snatch the pussy away and you just love. I was like, okay. We already knew that. He was just afraid to come out and say that. Jude wants to be in a committed relationship. He don't want to be nobody's secret. He is not Escape, all right? Okay, he's not trying to be somebody's little secret, okay? No, that's not what he wants. But at the end of the episode, Derek, we see German upstairs at that banister, looking down at Ash. Derek walks over and was like, Asha look good. And I was just like, Derek, this man pushed people over banisters. You better calm down. I was just waiting for him to just push his ass over that banister to end it all. And then he was just basically like, I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not finna stop because I'm getting Asha. And I said, damn. Talk about being bold. I said, all right. We finna see what the fuck happened. German said, you're on. We gonna see about this. Y'all, I don't know. Who y'all for? Y'all team Derek or y'all team German, okay? I just don't know. What y'all think gonna happen between this? Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. The episode was kind of like blah, but I had to spice it up in a review. But yeah, y'all tell me how y'all feel and I'll see y'all later.